Hi there. For those of you who don't know me already, my name's Maggie and I'm a trans female, senior trans female, living in central Illinois currently. I've previously made a series of videos which are continuing, called Thoughts from a Changing Mind, which are all to do with my transition so far and thoughts that occur to me as I go through life. Just to give a little background to those of you who don't already know me, I'm originally from England, and growing up I was very much informed of what was going on around me and took an interest in world affairs and history and politics and everything else. And my generation, although being aware of such things, it was normally regarded as poor form or rude to actually vocalize too much about it or express too strong an opinion unless you were asked to. So it was very much the case of, you had your own opinions and you kept them to yourself. I've been now in the USA for 20 years. I've been 100% a female for the last 2 years and never been happier. And for the last 8 or so years, I'd got to the point where the world around me and the kind of things I was seeing on news broadcasts and everything else, I'd gotten more and more dissatisfied with. It had got to the point where I couldn't guarantee that what I was watching was factual or the truth. Everything had a spin on it, and I was being spoon-fed someone's opinion rather than just finding out the news and getting facts. It got so difficult that in the end I just said, right, that's it. And I pretty much gave up being informed. So for the last 8 years or so, as I say, I pretty much kept my head down and just gone through my own life and was concentrating on that. When I started making the other videos, I commented there that, I was wanting to make those videos about me and not wanting to be an activist or vocal about things which I know are important to the LGBTQ plus community. I was more concerned with, as I say, my own development and the thoughts that were occurring to me from day to day. And those, as I say, those videos are continuing. However, I've recently come into contact with a very wonderful person who has far more passionate views about what's going on in the world around us. And I found it, difficult to deal with that passion, being as reserved as I had been and out of touch for so long. So given that this person is so special to me, I started to take a little bit more interest and find out the facts about what was going on so that I could share some of that with her. The more I've found out, the more I have realized just how much is going on in the world at the moment that is intensely disquieting. It's urgent that potentially things could happen which would change the world as we know it. And I know that sounds very alarmist and everything else, but unfortunately the alarm needs to be raised. And as I say, having gone from a point where, it's not normal for me to want to comment on things openly or get involved with things, I now realize that I can't maintain that position in all good conscience. If I want things to be a certain way in my life, I have to speak up about it, and I have to do what I need to do to protect those freedoms which enable me to do what I want. So I needed to find a way in becoming a little bit more vocal, suggesting things in a way that are far more open, whilst trying not to be judgmental. I want to try and avoid that where possible. I want to be able to just, as I wanted to before, find the facts. I want to be able to pass on the facts. And although I make it clear what I feel are the logical consequences of that and what I feel is at stake, I still feel it's important that the person who receives those facts, it's up to them to deal with it the way they want to. So nevertheless, I feel it's time for me to speak up. I don't know at the moment necessarily what these videos are going to be called. Maybe in comments you'd like to suggest some, the title for these series of videos, and that would be great. I'm also open to comments, preferably constructive ones, but if it's a matter of wanting to raise a point or disagree with the point, again, I'm all for people disagreeing in a positive, constructive way. I won't entertain people who are just out there to cause hurt and spread fear. That is what we've got to fight against. I very much believe in dealing with problems and issues with an open hand, with a welcoming hand, with a gesture of conciliation and let's do this together, than with a clenched fist and with anger. Now, if things get to the point where you have to fight your corner, then by all means I'll do that. But I still have not lost hope that if people think with their heart a little bit more and use a little bit of common sense, that there's enough common ground where we can work through things together. The main thing I've realized with everything I'm going through, there are numerous, infinite number of titles or boxes or whatever else that people can be called or regard themselves as, and sometimes those can be inclusive and make you feel part of a community. At other times those titles can be very divisive and hurtful. The one thing which we all have in common is we are all human beings. And that is, I think, something we've all got to hold on to and start from there and remember that everyone is a human being and work and deal with things accordingly. So maybe that's part of what I'm going to incorporate into the title, I don't know. But all these videos are going to be just as you see now. They're going to be completely uncut, no special filters or anything special. It's just going to be me talking to you, and hopefully you'll find a way of talking back to me. There are places where I get certain bits of information. In fact, places like the Midas Touch. There's a lot of very useful pieces of information in there. I don't say I necessarily agree with everything, but I find it a very useful place to get fact and well-argued thoughts about what's going on around us. But this, as I say, is the first in a series of videos which is going to look at the threats that are out there currently and try and deal with it in a very factual basis, but make it abundantly clear to everyone out there just what's at stake, and say that we cannot any longer keep quiet. We cannot be silent. We have to raise our head above the parapets. We have to speak up and, if necessary, fight for what we hold dear. So that's it for now. As I say, give me a thumbs up if you like this, send comments, subscribe if you'd like to. I really do appreciate it. And in the meantime, stay safe and big hugs from me. Bye for now.